how to love yourself. Can you honestly say that you love yourself? Or maybe you're having a hard time being happy with yourself. One thing I can certainly say is it's much more easier to focus on our faults, our insecurities, and that person who we're not. Instead, we should be focusing on accepting ourselves, being happy about who we truly are. By focusing on those negatives on a continuous basis, you could actually learn to dislike yourself. And maybe you're focusing on other people rather than focusing on your self-love. Some people don't want to be alone, or they fear to do things on their own. Can you relate? Just comment below and let me know. This can really hinder your journey with self-love because you need to be able to learn to be comfortable with yourself. Now stay tuned because I'm going to show you some easy steps on how to get started with your self-love journey. So why is it important to love yourself? So this might be important to some more than others, but the concept of self-love is one of the best things you can do for yourself. By loving yourself, it provides self-confidence, self-worth, and overall you become a much more positive person. And from personal experience, it's much more easier to love someone else or find love once you have developed a love for yourself first. When you are truly in love with yourself, you'll start to see tremendous shifts in your life. You'll stop comparing yourself to others. You'll be much more confident and you'll have a better understanding of who you truly are. But most importantly, you'll stop giving a fuck about what other people think about you. And now, let me show you some ways to get you started on your self-love journey. So firstly, you need to know how to have fun by yourself. If you can't even take yourself out on your own, that means you have no self-love. Go and see a movie. Go to dinner. Go to an amusement park. But do it all on your own. If you can't even do that, then how are you supposed to love someone else? You need to enjoy your own company. Secondly is traveling on your own. So by traveling on your own, you are forced to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. It's a foreign country, there could be language barriers, but by putting yourself in those uncomfortable situations, you sometimes think to yourself, that wasn't so bad after all. And you're forced to think for yourself and enjoy your own company. So the third one is forgiving yourself. This one may be a bit tricky, but whatever you did in the past, you need to forgive yourself. The past is the past for a reason. And even though you always look back on the past and dwell on whatever mistake you may have done, it's always going to be the past. It's not going to change and it can't be changed. So what you need to do is learn to accept what you did, forgive yourself, and treat it as a lesson, and move forward starting from now. Fourthly is surprise yourself. So what that means is say yes to something you wouldn't normally say yes to. And by doing so, you may discover something that you like doing that you might have not known that you liked doing before. Say yes to something out of the ordinary. Say yes to someone inviting you to something. Say yes to someone handing you a flyer for like a dance class or something. You never know. That might just become your new hobby and develop a new fountain of self-love within you. The next one is give yourself a break. So what that means is don't be too hard on yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself in a sense that you create some more stress in your life just because you're pushing yourself to the limits. It's okay to acknowledge that you're doing the best that you can and just go easy on yourself. Next one is learn how to say no to others. Sometimes we do too much for people and sometimes we like to please people. And we often stretch ourselves too thin and we commit everything we can. And sometimes we neglect to put ourselves first. That's why it's important to say no. Look after yourself first when you can or when you feel overwhelmed. The next one is list your accomplishments. How easy is it to pick out our faults and insecurities? But by listing your accomplishments, you acknowledge all the good things you have done in your life. And by doing that, you build a foundation between yourself and you feel proud of what you've accomplished. The next one is challenging yourself. By challenging yourself, you force yourself to grow. You want to be better than who you were yesterday. And by doing that, you are leaving your old self behind and continuously growing. So by challenging yourself, you put yourself in a situation where you are taking yourself higher and higher. Next is give yourself more credit. We are all human beings and we tend to make mistakes from time to time, and it's inevitable. But give yourself credit anyway, because you are trying your best. By giving yourself credit, you're giving yourself acknowledgement that you are doing great. It's like a positive affirmation to whatever it is you may be doing, and it's a powerful thing to give yourself self-love. The next point is learning to trust yourself. And what I mean by that is trust your instincts. Your instincts is what connects your mind, body, and soul. And by learning to trust your instincts, you are learning to trust yourself. And finally, the most important aspect, in my opinion, is putting yourself first. If you put yourself first, you have built a foundation and a key to self-love. How are you supposed to help others if you can't even help yourself? So you need to prioritize yourself before you prioritize anyone else. And with that, I hope this video serves a good purpose for you in your journey with self-love. However, if you're still struggling to love yourself or you don't have a high self-esteem, connect with me in LinkedIn or drop me an email, and my team and I will do the best we can to help you in your journey with self-love. Remember, it all starts within, and put yourself first.